Hi, beautiful soul. The fact that we meet each other has a reason. Probably something in your life is not working out, and discipline is preventing you actually to step into your life or go in a path that's distant for you. And I've been there too, believe me. First, I will be talking about why willpower on its own doesn't work at all. Two, I will give you the cheat codes to train and maintain your discipline. Three, I will show you how to be disciplined while you're not feeling motivated, while you're not burning yourself out, and while at the same time you can keep enjoying and flowing in life. Hi, for everyone who doesn't know me, my name is Cliff Tang. I'm a Belgian-born Chinese. I am an energy healer, I'm a life coach, I'm a stunt actor, I am a martial artist, I'm a lion dancer. I'm so much more, but most of all, I am still an eternal student of life. So as we all know, discipline has a lot to do with the word willpower. And the title in the thumbnail is that willpower doesn't really work, yeah? Is that totally true? It does work, but it doesn't work on its own. You do need to have willpower. You do have to need a burning desire why you want to achieve something. And I'm gonna give you an example of something that I went through, and that's my health and fitness. When I was very young, I was the only Asian in the village. Not a lot of people knew how Asian kids look like, but I was very small, I was very skinny, and I had a very low self-confidence because I looked differently, I felt differently, and when I was in that spot, I actually wanted to disappear because I didn't want to be seen. So at a very short age, I was in the spotlight, but although that people saw my light, I wasn't really courageous enough to shine it, to be different, to be fully me. So there was a time in the past that I took up fitness because I wanted to have more self-confidence. I wanted to look better. I wanted to be strong. I didn't want to be afraid anymore. So actually that was a driving factor. Okay, I'm gonna train. But there were a lot of reasons that kept me from stopping, like training a while, stopping, training a while, and stopping, training a while, and stopping. So the main reason was because I got injuries, I didn't really know how to train, but also because it was very hard to step into that gym, looking in the mirror, looking at myself, at my body, at my muscles, but especially how other people were watching me. And you never know what people are thinking about. Probably it's like, hey, that's a cool Asian kid. But in my mind, it was like, well, people are thinking I'm skinny, I'm not good enough, I'm not worthy to step into this gym because I'm not knowing what I'm doing, and I don't have the right to be here. I don't have the right to exist. This kind of shameful feeling was there for a very long time. So, although that I am a person who has perseverance because it's in my name. My Chinese name is called Hou Zhen, and it means warrior horse. So sometimes I can put my eyes like this and I just go. But concerning the health and fitness aspect and going to the gym, it also went on and off, and there was no real consistency in it. And one of the reasons was also because there was not a really burning desire. There was a desire of being more confident and more strong, but the desire was not strong enough. Later in my life, when I discovered CrossFit, I went into a gym and actually got a different way of looking at fitness and doing things more on a raw, basic, primitive way without too many machines and with good education and guidance. It became a little bit different for me because the burning desire became something else. Because every time I stepped out of this gym with these people doing the same thing, I felt good. I felt understood, I felt guided, I felt safe. And I also did know that I wasn't the only one in the class who was suffering or didn't understand it or needed a little bit more guidance. And that was totally different when I went to a local gym on my own in the beginning part of my life because I was so unsure about everything. And I hadn't really had a handle to hold myself on about it's okay. So I know going to the gym is very important of increasing your self-confidence and willpower, but if you don't understand anything at all, it's very hard to keep on to it. So the main point of this story that I'm telling you here is that there has to be a burning desire. There also has to be a vision. As I said, changing a gym, changing a setting, going a different way, feeling more different was for me the reason I kept going. But what was the real reason behind keep going to that CrossFit gym, what was the difference with the local gym that went on and off, and with the CrossFit gym that I actually consistently kept going on a consistent base for around more than 10 years. I even became a coach, and it became a big part of my life that changed my self-confidence. But what was one of the reasons that I learned that was there is that my vision changed. My vision was different. The vision was that I didn't only went to the gym to look good and to be strong and be confident, but it was because I knew that I would feel confident and feel this amazing healthy feeling energy after my training. So it was the training itself that became as a way to get where I wanted to go in the future. It was I wanted to feel better, feel safe, feel understood, felt seen. So the vision changed. So that's the first thing that I feel needs to be added if you want to be consistently in your discipline, is that you have to have a higher vision. Not only why am I doing it, it's very important you know why you're doing it, but where do you want to be while doing this? How would it look different if you keep doing these things? And for me, it was, I know if I keep training on a consistent basis, my quality of life will increase, my emotional life will increase, my character, my confidence will increase because of this. So the driving factor became like more a feeling and a character trait than just looking good. You see. So the first thing that we need is a vision. Yeah, if you don't have a vision, only the burning desire also sometimes will just go flat and the flame will be extinguished. So you need to have a vision. The second thing that I feel next to willpower, I feel like it's a rocket, you know? You have this rocket going forward, and willpower is one of these engines that is pushing you forward, but it's not enough. You need two other engines. One of the engines is called the vision, just like I told you, like what is the bigger vision? And the third thing is belief. Do you believe that it is possible to enter that vision with this burning desire? I want to come back to this vision first. For me personally, in my own story, it was not only about how I wanted to feel myself, but it was also going further. Why do I need this health and fitness? My vision went further than that because I also wanted to be a line dancer. I thought like if I have the physique and the athleticism that I want to have, I will be able to be a line dancer, to be on the streets, to be able to be a martial artist, to maybe one time in the future play in movies as a fight actor. Like all these things, like I want to be like a ninja, you know? I want to be fluid and flexible and agile like a ninja. All these things were in my vision, and it was a driving factor for me to keep going on it. So that was my vision. There was a burning desire. But like I said, there is a third rocket that is needed to push the rocket forward, and that's called belief. You can have a vision and you can have a burning desire why you want to do it, but if there is no belief in it, if you don't believe it, it's very hard for you to keep going, to take action. It is very important that your belief, your mindset helps you going forward. Yeah. We all know that we have grown up with a lot of voices, a lot of things that people say to us, some conditions that we hold inside of us that actually are not ours, but it's fighting inside of our head. There's always a voice inside your head saying, hey, you're this, you're that, you're not good enough, who are you to do this? Shouldn't you stop? Shouldn't you just accept what is? Shouldn't you just be grateful with whatever you have and don't grow at all? And it's very hard to fight against these voices in your head if you don't have anything else to strengthen the other side of the mindset. You can tell yourself in the mirror, I am good, I am beautiful, I am worthy, I'm enough. But those 1,000 million voices in your head, it is just a battle you cannot win. So what do you need in order to uplift this belief is also evidence building. You need to prove yourself that it is possible. And the way I did it is to frequent yourself with the right things and the right people that will show you the evidence that it is possible. So what I started to do, from not confident all the way for doing all the stuff I'm doing right now, was meeting up with people who are already there. People are speaking from experience and not just saying, I saw this somewhere in a book or I heard someone talking about this, because still those people, they wish the best for you, but they're actually saying something that they don't have experience with. So reading a book, for example, helps a lot. Reading and listening to people who have been there, people who are stunt actors, people who are martial artists, people who overcame their problems and their struggles, are exactly the people you should listen to, because they have been there where you are. So you will have this evidence like, hey, I am not alone. That's very, very important. Evidence building. Go to someone or something that has already been there where you want to be. And something to add on this is your own evidence. Like look at it from a smaller, like from a bigger view. Yeah, you have a goal you want to go to, and you feel it's very hard to get disciplined to there. So go and look back at your own successes. Like, are there things in the past that you really wanted to do very eagerly? You had a vision, you had this burning desire, and you just went through it. Look back at your own evidence that you made. It's very easy for us always to look at what's not working, what is tiring us, what is really blocking us. But we sometimes forget how many things we already have achieved and done. So I always say, you have to be in the present, because that's the only thing we have, isn't it? And we need to have a future to know where we want to go to, like a vision. But we also have the past. And the past we can use in different ways. We can look back at all the traumas and problems we have, but we always can look back at what did we achieve? Where did we came from? How did we grow? And if we have those two, looking back, how we became who we are right now, and where we want to go in the path that is in front of us, then will we get the confidence to know this is just a wave, and you're surfing on the wave, you know? So that's the reason willpower on its own won't help you be disciplined. You also need a vision, a dream, and you also need to have belief. Remember what I said, you need the future and you need the past in order to help you be stronger in the present. Because discipline is about now. Am I going to the gym right now? Am I going to do this task right now that I know I need to do in order to get somewhere when I want to go? Yeah. But you need also a future, where I want to go to, yeah? And I already did something in the past. I can do this, you see? So you need the past and the future as two other engines to push yourself forward in the present. The second thing I want to share with you guys is the cheat codes to training and maintaining discipline. So one of the things that helped me the most has always been repetition. And we know that, like, if you keep doing something, that actually is one of the definitions of discipline, is keep doing the things consistently. But the thing is, how do you keep doing that? What is a cheat code for that? For me, it is always coming back to the vision. Revise, going back to the vision. Why? You're doing something with discipline because of a reason, like I told you before. But if you cannot come back to your vision from time to time, you forget why you're doing it. And if you forget why you're doing it and with kind of purpose and where you're actually heading to, then actually you forget your purpose and you get lost. And then life comes at you. And when there are more pressing factors coming at your life, you actually let go of a thing that was so important and so had so much value for you. Who hasn't had it, you know, like you're doing, and then maybe something happens. You get sick or something happens in the family or with your career or finances, and you totally lost it and you just went fully on in the thing that that was happening to you. So you just forget it because you haven't revised it in a very structured way. How I do it is every month, every week, I go back to my vision where I wrote down on a paper where I'm heading to and why I want to do it. And if you keep repeating to yourself, that's the reason why I'm actually doing all this shit. That's why when it's hard, I know that's when I need to persevere because it's going to help me get to where I want to go. It's one step forward. Now that we talked about why willpower alone is not enough, and also how, like a cheat code, how to train and maintain your discipline, now the tricky part comes. How do you maintain the discipline when you are feeling not motivated, when your willpower has burned out and that you feel like, I don't have the energy to do this anymore, and why am I doing it after all? So what I learned that helps you the most in this kind of phase is to commit and to do it anyway. Persevere. We have heard this more than multiple times. Just do it, keep doing it. But the way to really keep doing it is to go back to that initial thing that you're committing yourself to and just fragment it. That's the way I do it. Fragment it in the smallest measurable action that's going to create that momentum towards the discipline you want to create. I'll give you an example. If you say like, I want to move every single day, and you have been doing that for a few weeks, yeah? But then it's gonna get hard. You're gonna get sore, you're gonna get tired. Sometimes you just get bored because of it. So what can help is, instead of making your commitment very vague, make it very clear, but then from that clarity, take the most smallest step possible that you can imagine. If it is like, I want to move every day, start with saying to yourself, I'm going to move every day 1 minute. Because the thing is, it's not about the action itself. It's not about the outcome. It's not about focusing on the outcome. It's enjoying the process and doing the process. It's the process that's the most important, because taking action always leads to change. And it is change that brings us where we want to go, isn't it? Transformation. So break the commitment you want to do for yourself. The discipline is mostly in action. Break it in the smallest possible part, because when you start doing that, the chance is very high that you will do more than it. If you say every day I want to take a walk around the block because my vision is I want to be healthy, I want to have a more healthy lifestyle, and my commitment, my discipline will be walking every day a block around the house, around the neighborhood. Yeah, the smallest step here would say, every day before I go to sleep, I put ready my walking shoes, my sweater, my t-shirt, the pants I love to walk in, and I'll put it at the exact spot so that I wake up, I don't have distraction or have resistance of going to do what I want to do. So make it tractionable. Create the least resistance possible for going into what you promised yourself to do. Because when it's already there and you don't have to search it, it's one step easier to just put your shoes on, bum, and leave out the door. Yeah. So that's an example, fragmented in the most smallest possible step that you can take. And then it's also about just following through. Just do it. It also can help to track it down, write it down every single day. I'm gonna do it. Like, I have a journal, and every evening I write down in the journal what I'm gonna do the next day. What is the main priority? So fragment it, that's one, but also prioritize. If it's important for you, this discipline, put it on the first place. And make sure it's the first thing you try to do in your day. Because your day starts and then a lot of things start coming at you and you forget and you're busy in the day. So if you put it in priority and put it first, if you have done the thing you have promised yourself, there is such a huge surge of energy and confidence that comes to you. Confidence is not something you're built with. Confidence is something that you build. Actually, we are born with confidence, because look at babies. Babies, they are born and they're just radiating confidence. Love me and I shall love you. You know, it's just pure love and pure confidence. But the thing is, we get so many conditions in our lives that push our confidence down. And it is about doing the thing that you promise yourself is what gonna build this confidence. So you have to keep doing what you promise yourself. this is integrity, this is commitment, and this is discipline. Now you know how you can prepare yourself to know how to keep going when you're demotivated. There's also like a danger in this. If you're too disciplined and you're too structured and you're going very narrow with too much focus all the time, there's always a chance that you will burn out too. So what can you do? Because some people say being too disciplined and burnout go hand in hand. It's because there is no balance. Yeah. So how can you take it hand in hand? And it's very easy. If you talk about discipline, we always think about habits, isn't it? It is something that you have to do at a regular time consistently to call it discipline and to call it a kind of habit. Now, habits can be something you do every day, but after a while, it's a good way to sometimes break the habit by just let it go for a while. I always say life is like yin and yang. There has to be a balance between contraction and expansion. The same thing with focus and relaxation. If you're too focused on something, it's very good. Focus is good because it helps us direct our energy in a specific direction, in a specific path, creating something very beautiful for us. But that sometimes we have to release the focus and the contraction so that the expansion can happen and that things can revolve around what you have just done. If you have trained for a month very hard every single day, it's good that you take a break, maybe a day or maybe a few days, just to let your body rest and recover. Remember that recover is also very part of training. And it's the same with the universe. If you do something very focused, you also have to widen your view again, so you can take a look about what has just happened with it. What are the implementations? What is actually changing around us? The awareness can sometimes only be felt when we're not focused and actually can look at a broader spectrum. If you're obsessed with your health and fitness and I need to be strong and bam, 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 sometimes it goes so focused and so rigidly strong in a direction when it's great that you forget to enjoy the things that are around your health and fitness. Why do you want to be healthy? Is because you want to play with your children, grandchildren, you still want to play your sports, you want to be healthy to travel, you want to just be happy emotionally, and that's also because of your health and fitness. But the thing is, how are you going to enjoy it if you're purely only focused obsessively with your health? You see? So sometimes, let us say after a month, just take a time to break it out, a few days, let it go, and just reflect on the process, revise. Yeah. So how I do it is, after a whole month of a habit or like consistent discipline that I promised myself, I take a while back, I look at what I have done in a month, and I'm gonna readjust by revising my vision. So what I have done this month, where is it taking me to my vision? Because something you do disciplined has a reason, isn't it? You can say, okay, I brush my teeth every day. It's just a habit now. Is there a purpose? Yeah, of course. Like, you don't want to go to the dentist every week, isn't it? But also you don't want to be healthy and stuff. So this is now a habit that is ingrained, and we look back at it while we're going to the dentist in a yearly consultation to just check our teeth out, isn't it? But we have to do that with every aspect of our lives. If you want to be healthy and fit, like, why are you doing this? After a month, look what you have done in a month, and where is it leading you to? Is it preparing you maybe for that journey you're going to take in a month's time? Is it maybe that performance you're setting with the sport you're doing and you're just feeling great without injuries? So you have to revise your vision again, and then readjust your habits, or readjust the commitments you want to take. Readjust your discipline, because discipline is in a lot of things, but we can't do 1,000 things at the same time. So the tip here is to break it off, take a rest, to reflect, to implement, to reconcile, but to consolidate whatever has been happening in a month. I feel a month is great because it's not too long, it's not too short. It's a good way to see if something is happening, yes or no. And just be honest with yourself. If there is some commitment that you've put yourself for a month and you haven't done it at all, is it truly because you're lazy? Maybe this goal that you set for yourself is way too hard. So fragment it even more. And then lastly, how can you how can you keep being disciplined while enjoying the flow and the fun of life? Yeah, as I already told you, it's about enjoying the process, enjoying the journey. The outcome is good that we think about it, but don't commit to the outcome, commit to the process. And the thing with discipline is try also to make the thing you want to be disciplined also a little bit fun. When I think in the past, I thought about discipline, I always think about these warriors, like you have to be serious. You have to go through the mud, no pain, no gain. It's about conquering your fears and have to be strong every single moment, going through the struggle, going to the suffering. But then my mindset changed, and I changed it into, but what was it? But what if it was simple? But what if it could be easy? What if it could be fun? And that really changed something in me. Because when you learn something or when you grow the best in a state when you're happy, when you're content, feeling fulfilled, and when you're radiating. That's actually when the plants also grow the best in different kinds of weather. But when the weather is optimized, when there is some sun, there is some rain and stuff, but it grows in the best optimal state. And the same with discipline too. Discipline is nothing more than consistency, going towards a goal, isn't it? But if you do something that you don't like, that actually makes you feel very bad, and it's always suffering, that's exactly what you keep pulling at yourself. This is the way I look at it in a spiritual way, is whatever is inside of us reflects in our outer world. It's our outer world. So if you're doing something with goodwill, you have a good purpose, I want to be healthy, that's why I go training and train hard, and that's good. But if every time you go training, it's a task, it's pulling yourself through it, it's suffering, it is hard, it is painful, you injure yourself, and you're actually suffering through the whole way, I doubt, and that's my personal opinion about it, I doubt that a lot of happiness will find you. Some people say, no pain, no gain, I go through it, but afterwards I feel it. And that's something different, okay? You can go through something hardship, because it will make you stronger. But then the most important thing is, after the task, after the commitment, after the thing you discipline that, how does it make you feel? There has to be a fun factor in it. There has to be a contentment, fulfilled factor in it. For me personally, I go to the gym, okay? So I go on the gym. I do it for myself, because for me it's more about going against my fear to create my discipline. It is. But outside of that, I also have other activities that I do in group. Why? Because I enjoy being together with people, doing it together, strengthening ourselves in some kind of way, and then sharing it amongst each other is way more fulfilling. And your body grows faster, easier, and even smarter when you can share that situation or that environment with people. Try to create your discipline also in a fun way. Create a fun factor in it. It can be after the act that you needed to do, how to make it a little bit more funnier and passionate, but try to engage it that there is also higher vibrancy, a better feeling around the discipline you want to create. Don't make it too serious and too hard and too much suffering, because in Buddhism we always say there is suffering, and the way is to get away from the suffering, to acknowledge that it is there, but to get away from it. So don't go and create unnecessary suffering into your life time on time, because what you are inside, if you are suffering, that's the thing you will be seeing in the world. And eventually, why are you doing the things you want to do? Why are you so disciplined? Because you want to have a certain outcome. The process to the outcome always has to do with, I want to be free of suffering. I want to feel better. I want to feel good. I want to feel content and happy. So why are you gonna try and do something that makes you miserable? Yeah. So there can be a part of it that's miserable, but try that the overall state of the act of being disciplined is something to look forward to be happy that you want to do it, that there is an intrinsic motivation of keeping on track with this certain thing. And like I said, re-advise it, readjust it according to your vision. So to summarize, there are 8 steps that you can take to be more disciplined. I have written them down here again because my memory is not that well. But the first one is vision. Vision in the future, where you want to go, what is your goal. You have to have a goal that you can create a good disciplined way to get there. 2, believe. You need to believe that it's possible to do. So try to build evidence that it is possible. Evidence from your own life, what has happened in the past, your own growth, but also look up to people, get inspired, get motivated by people who already are there where you want to be. 3, repetition. Repetition is key. Repetition is the most important thing that will create the discipline. So repetition in this sense is go back to your vision, go back to what motivates you to do it. Remind yourself why you're doing it. Remind the vision that you're going towards. Yeah. Then 4, fragment. Make it in smaller chunks, so to keep creating your momentum, but in the smallest step possible. Make it tiny so that it's easy to do. It's almost impossible not to do. Persevere, just do it. Know there is light at the end of the tunnel, just freaking do it. And try to remove the friction of not doing it. Make it easy to do. Break down a habit or commitment from time to time to reflect on it, to consolidate, and to see if you can readjust the things, maybe to fine-tune it a little bit. So there's always an adjustment that can be done along the way. Revise, like I said, revise your vision again. Come back to your commitment and see if you have to change it. Number 6 was break. Take a rest from it. Like after the contraction and focus, let it go in expansion, and look at it in an overview so they can see what the implementations and the things are changing around you, so that you make place for awareness to be there. And then 8, make it fun. Create some fun factor around it, that it's a fun thing to do. Yeah? Go away from suffering. Don't add extra unnecessary suffering in your life already. Go away from suffering. So those are the 8 steps, and there is one major big extra secret I want to give you that has helped me, because I have done all these things and it always worked, but still sometimes it stopped. And the reason why is all these things are done by ourselves. And it is so powerful because we have this mindset, we have the heart set, we have our bodies, we have our soul, we can go. But the thing is, listen to this quote. This one that really stuck down to me. And that's, alone you can go very fast, but together you can go very, very far. And that's the major rule. The big secret here is search for accountability and support. Search for people who believe in you, who even believe more in you than you believe in yourself. People that you can rely on and tell them the path that you're taking, the problems you have in your discipline. Talk about it. Share it with them, but share it with people who are like-minded and doing the same thing. Like I said, we have the past and the future, we should be in the present, but the same thing. We have to have people that we can teach something, we can help. We have to have people that inspire us and can mentor us, but we also need to have people that are like-minded, that are going on the same path. And that's very rare. If you're a person who is very disciplined and know where you're going to, and it's hard, but you're still doing it, you need people who are doing the same thing. That's why communities are built. So search your own community. Search for people who are doing the same thing, walking their talk, walking their path, who are walkers, seekers, and going into their own path. So with this, I want to conclude it, because this is the most important tip I can give you, because when it goes good and you feel good, motivation isn't the problem, purpose isn't the problem, your vision isn't the problem. All those tips I give you are not a problem when you're feeling good, but it's the moment that you feel bad, when you're sick, when things are not going as you want, as you expect them to do in life, and you fall down It's at that point, if you have someone to support you, that the fall will not be so deep and you will put out the valley easier to go back on the mountain. But if you don't have that support network for you, what you do is you fall, and it can take a very deep fall, and it can take a very long time before you actually are aware that you fell down and you're crawling back up. And when you're back up, you're looking back like, damn, this consistency was there once, but why did it took so long? It's because there was no network, no community holding you on. And actually, this whole channel, and I'm here, is I want to be one of those people supporting you, because I know how it feels to be lost, to feel alone, and not knowing where I'm going, and everything feels miserable and suffering. I went through this process, but the only way I went up was through be disciplined. That's one, having a vision, feeling purpose, but the most important is having people around me that support me and that can carry me when I'm feeling down, so I can do the same thing when they're feeling down. It's this symbiosis of giving and taking, but supporting each other to grow together. So if there's one thing I would consider you to think about is, am I in the right environment to work out this discipline? Maybe it's the community of your gym. Maybe it's people who are doing the same thing. Maybe it's just people online that you feel inspired. I hope this video today can inspire you to be disciplined again. Disciplined in your path. Disciplined for taking action in the life that you deserve to have and that you should take. If you love the content of this video, and if you like my stories and my way of talking, please subscribe to this channel, because I love sharing so much with other people, and I finally found my place to do this. So if it's valuable to you, please subscribe so I can share more about my life, share more about topics that go about self-growth, sharing parts of my stories, and maybe put in the comments below what was the thing that stick the most with you, or the things you want to talk about. If you have questions, just put them down in the comments so we can talk about it and help each other, creating community where we can rely on each other and sustain each other in the growth of your soul and the growth in this life. Thank you for listening, and see you soon.